Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
It's definitely the triple digits, but I don't know exactly. It's a ridiculous number. Find that out for me before we get a break, and then we'll
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is stocking up on the MREs, ammunition, alcohol, cigarettes, and beanie babies. I agree with everything said the beanie babies. Yes, the world is going to end this year with the election, Iran, disease X, or World War III. This must be the end, unlike, 2000, 2012, 2020, or the countless other doomsdays. Ooh, like what you did there, doomsdays. That's cool. This must be the one. I will believe it when I see it, or as my late father used to say, until it's happened, it hasn't. Just Google, wait a minute, Did I just delete a whole section? Oh my God. You know what? Just Google Flat Earth Bark. If you can't find it, I can't believe I deleted a whole section in there. Well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not May 28th, 2024, then you are listening to a rerun. By the way, it's 2024, Year of the Wood Dragon. Quote of the day goes exactly like this thing I just made up. According to a new false prophet, World War III will kick off on June 18th. Or possibly June 10th or June 29th, maybe, possibly, whatever. Either way, the Earth is measured flat. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she's one of the biggest Flat Earth rock stars ever. If you are listening to the show live, you're probably listening to it on her channel, Karen B. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Mark.
Happy Tuesday. Lovely to see you. Hey, Karen. Being the current queen of Flat Earth, must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. You know, an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary, horizontal, level plane.
Yeah, the Flat Earth Sun Moon Zodiac Clock app.
It's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch a feature video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. Oh, so sleepy. And because it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast, it's time to say goodnight to one of our listeners, Paige. She's just put on her Johnny Quest pajamas, got a cup of cocoa with exactly 6 tiny marshmallows. I use 13 marshmallows, by the way, if you guys are wondering. And we'll probably listen to the playback in the morning. Good night, Paige. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Shout-outs, obviously, to Flat Earthers, Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to thestrong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch. Also, shout out to Peter Jarvio. He went flat smacking at a food festival in Cincinnati on Sunday and Monday. He flat smacked 324 people on Sunday and 197 people yesterday. He is still doing his activism as much as humanly possible. So, yeah, Peter Jarvio. Man, I'm seriously, the guy should have like 1,000 hours of video right now.
I don't think he records it, though.
No, he doesn't. And I know why he doesn't record it. It's because he does these short loops. When you're flat smacking on the street, you're in usually 3 to 5 minute mode, and you're repeating the same thing every 3 to 5 minutes. And I think he even realizes, like, yeah, I don't think people want to watch a couple hours of that. But you never know, the back and forth when he, if somebody edited and got the parts where he's going back and forth.
Yeah.
I've heard some of his stuff. It's pretty good. Let's see, mailbag. Who's got the mailbag? I do. Let's see, what was sent to me today? We got a couple DVDs. We got 50 years of Star Trek, including a wonderful interview by Leonard Nimoy. We got the triple feature Austin Powers original, The Spy Who Shagged Me, and Goldmember on one DVD. That's fun. The Walking Dead, complete second season. I'm pretty sure that's a repeat because I'm pretty sure I already got some of the special edition Walking Dead. A very obscure Keanu Reeves movie with Morgan Freeman called Chain Reaction. Yeah. And last but not least of the DVDs, Mel Gibson Mad Max from 1979. And I know Peanut approves of this. There's a little trivia behind this movie, by the way. It's a classic. Not only did it launch Mel Gibson's career and other Australians and also Australian cinema, but for 20 years, did you know that it held the Guinness Book of World Records? It was the most profitable movie in the world for 20 years because it was made on a budget of about 400 grand. And once everybody got their grubby paws on it and went all, different parts of the world, it grossed over, I think, $100 million. And here's the other trivia for you, because remember, I absorbed so much media. The movie that supplanted it, and this shouldn't surprise anybody, right? So it was world record holder, most profitable movie until 1999, the greatest year of movies. In 1999, what replaced it? Blair Witch Project. Yeah. And I know because I stood in line at the theater with all the other idiots that thought it was a real movie. They practically invented found footage. That movie, which was shot on a high 8 camcorder, sold at Sundance for $1 million and then grossed 350 million worldwide. Yeah. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Also got a replacement mug for the broken Different Strokes mug. There it is. Different Strokes with What You Talking About Willis on the back. Fun. Thank you for that. And last but not least, I didn't get shirts. but I did get something that was shipped to me in a red Tasco telescope box. And you know what it was? It's an actual telescope. Thank you.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but it's a telescope. I've never actually owned a telescope before, so thank you for that. Very, 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 very fun. Let's see. Meetups. Who's got the meetups? I do.
Oh, I want to let Ronnalee Caton know I did find your birthday gift that you sent me. I found it.
Oh, that you didn't open because it said don't open. Oh, Bigfoot knowledge. Nice. Nice. I like the skeleton chart. Oh, wait, stop. Go back. Put it back up again. Names for Bigfoot: Sasquatch, skunk ape, Yeti, Yowie, Almas. I didn't know that one. Wendigo and Yeren. Did you know all those, Karen?
Almas I'm not familiar with.
I wonder what language that is or what country that is.
Wendigo is a weird.
Well, hell, there's a superhero character called Wendigo. I think he's a bad guy. No, he might be a good guy. But I think he's Canadian. But I didn't know the other one. Cool.
Yeah.
Finally, he's great. Up in Alaska.
Yeah. And thank you, Jeremy Bird, for the super chat.
Oh. Yeah, call him out if you see him. Meetups. Let's see. Greetings. Let's see. Jesse's next meetup will be Saturday, June 15th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Lewis Restaurant and Grill, 92 Central Street in Norwood, Massachusetts. RSVP by calling Jesse at 781-857-9175 or email him at 300kmileprius@gmail.com. That's 300kmileprius@gmail.com. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do an interview on, normally I don't let people know ahead of time, but he asked me to mention this. Charles Froman. He's going to be, I can tell he's pro flat earth, but I'm going to be on that podcast. I don't know when it's going to be released, but we're recording it.
Froman?
Yeah. Do you know him?
No, but isn't that the name that Cameron uses as a fake name when he makes that call? And
I don't know if it's Charles, but yes, Froman. You're absolutely right. It's on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think was that when he was they were trying to get into the restaurant and he was trying to be the sausage king?
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. Peanut, look that up. Peanut. Look up the aliases that Cameron was using in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. See which one he was using for the Sausage King. I'm pretty sure Karen's right. It was Froman. Good memory, Karen. Okay. I'm sorry. Wait, I do have other meetups. I have June 8th, Brooklyn, New York. Music by Alex Lowry. It's going to be that promo's on my channel. Brooklyn, New York, June 8th. And then June 15th, Minnesota. That regular one is on my channel as well. Karen, did you have any others besides those? Those three?
I don't know I can't remember if you said it, but there's the Shaking Hands with Strangers one in Minneapolis on the June 15th.
Yep, got that one.
I did not get an update for Flat Coast, Florida yet, so Shelly or whoever, you guys need to email me. And then there's Jamming the Plane coming up in June.
Groovy.
Colorado.
All right. Don't they have anything else? Should we go to headlines?
I don't see why not.
Let's do it. Okay, first one. This one goes to the title and the thumbnail. This is from the Metro in the UK. UK, they like their sensationalism. And you know what? This one kind of tickled me. A new Nostradamus predicts the exact date World War III will start. Now, the headline is straight up clickbait because he starts backpedaling immediately in this thing. So let me read part of this. It's not a long article. An astrologer dubbed the new Nostradamus has revealed the prediction for the exact date of World War III. Kushal Kumar uses a Vedic astrology chart based on planetary and star alignments to forecast the future. He claims the start previously Wow, I never use that word. Rising tensions between Israel and Hamas, North and South Korea, China and Taiwan, and Russia and Ukraine. Notice we're not in there, which we would be involved in pretty much all of them. Some say you don't need astrology to tell you that, but nevertheless, he released what he says is the exact date of the Third World War. Could kick off, he said. Could. All right, well, you're already kind of waffling there. According to Daily Star, he believes there's a high chance World War III will start next month on June 18th. But then he said the date had the strongest planetary stimulus to trigger World War III through June 10th, and 29th may also play a factor. It's like, okay, so now it's not June 18th. Now it could be all of June. And then they start referencing Nostradamus after that. And he published his big book in 1555 that included 942 poetic quatrains. Yeah. Exactly. That apparently foretold future events. Let me, last paragraph, I swear on this one. Many people believe he correctly predicted the fire of London, the French Revolution, the rise of Napoleon and Hitler, both world wars, 9/11, and even the death of Diana, the Princess of Wales. Okay, sure. Why not? Anyway, as I mentioned there in the beginning, I'll believe it when I see it. Sorry, cry wolf. Heard this so many times. So many times. I was burned time and time and time again. 2000 wasn't even the biggest disappointment for me. The biggest disappointment for me was 2012 because I saw the movie, the John Cusack movie, 2012 and 2009 when it came out, and waited until 2012 going, yeah, let's do this. Nothing, not a freaking peep. All right, moving on. Let's go to space, shall we? Next one down. This one's a fun one. This one goes into what Karen says every once in a while. If you have to write an article about it, not a good sign. So somebody made, using AI, some images of people staging the moon landing, right? Fake studio shots on a studio set with a hill and stuff. And I don't even think they were that great, but they were getting traction all over the place. So now the mainstream, this particular mainstream outlet says viral images of moon landing are AI. Images resurface online showing fake moon landing. Our verified team tracked down the person who created the images. Okay. So just so I'm clear here, these moon images are fake. But the other images, which don't even look as good as these, those are real. Yep. I'm sold. Sure, why not? Again, you're just helping us with that one. Saying, oh yeah, these by saying, by the way, that any moon images are fake, you now put into question everything else. It's like, well, what's the difference between these over here and these over here? These look great. These are in high def. These grainy things with all sorts of crap that's happened. No. The Apollo images are terrible. Okay, next one down. This is from Interesting Engineering. This should not surprise anyone. Massive explosion rocks SpaceX Texas facility. Starship engine in flames. Elon Musk has recently announced that Starship's fourth flight test could be just days away. Well, I don't think so. With that important milestone just around the corner, SpaceX has seemingly faced a fiery setback. We could have called the show that, fiery setback. I may use that down the road if you blow up anything else. Footage from NASA spaceflight shows a massive explosion during a Raptor engine test. SpaceX has yet to provide an update on the explosion, which took place at its Boca Chica Starbase facilities in southern Texas. The footage shows SpaceX engine test pad going up in flames. Footage show started a little after, blah, blah, blah. 14 seconds. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the test lasted 14 seconds. It took you 14 seconds to blow that rocket up. Yeah, men on the moon. Sure. Mm-hmm. And I love the quote here. They said, the Raptor testing stand at McGregor experienced an anomaly a few moments ago. The vapors from the anomaly caused a secondary explosion on the test stand. You guys can watch the video if you want. It's fun. It's a good little fireworks show. So thank you for that, Elon. Appreciate it. Next one down. We'll stay with space. BGR. Like this one. You know what? This is the closest we're going to get to honest journalism. Headline: it might be time for NASA to bail on Boeing's starliner. In a not very shocking at all twist, NASA has put the first crewed launch of Boeing's starliner on hold once again. A delay? Come on. I don't believe it. That pesky helium link discovered earlier in May continued to plague the capsule, and the engineers are struggling to find a solution that works to get things back on track. Yep. So Boeing tried to get in the mix, but they realized, of course, oh, by the way, you can't, because there is no legit space program at all. So you had to deliberately drag your feet. And now people are criticizing Boeing and saying, people should just walk away from Boeing. Love it. But let's stay on that Boeing wrinkle for just a sec. Let's go to foxnews.com. I want to get something pretty clear out there. Boeing whistleblower John Barnett's lawyers blame suicide on company as note revealed. Remember, he's a whistleblower, and I'm trying to be delicate when I say this, because suicide's not a fun topic, but I don't think it was a suicide. I just don't, because he was whistleblowing on a weapons manufacturer, one of the United States' premier defense contractors. I wouldn't even do that, and I got nothing to lose. This guy, oh yeah, what do you think's going to happen? You whistleblow on that sort of thing? No, you're not going to court. We're not gonna sue you. You're just going away. So yeah, whistleblower done. But of course, it was a suicide. I believe it. Next one down, livescience.com. Space photo of the week. NASA sees a platypus move on Jupiter's moon Europa. That is straight up clickbait. Of course, there's no platypus on Jupiter's moon Europa, but it's an interesting headline. The Juno spacecraft, which orbits Jupiter, has been imaging the giant planet's moon Europa and spotted apparent movement on its icy crust. No, you didn't. You didn't at all. In fact, you scroll down to that wonderful carved up image that could be anything. That spherical object down below there, that could be absolutely anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not liking it. Not liking it at all. All right, moving on. Next one down. DailyMail.com. Okay, I actually kind of want to put this next to the Boeing thing, but I want to get something clear. If you've ever watched British media or followed any British, the British don't screw around when it comes to law and order and punishment. When treason here, yeah, we kind of shuffle things off. Treason is different than the regular court system. Right? You're under a completely different set of rules. Over in Britain, if you get caught, look, if you're that dumb, so an ex-Royal Marine, 37 years old, spying for China on Hong Kong activists after fighting the Taliban and Somali pirates, is found dead in a park. They're not even say the British, they're very cut and dry. They're not even going to say it's suicide. Oh no, he's just dead. And that is, could have been one or two things. Like, look, we caught you spying, and either we did it or we made it to where the Chinese thought you were a liability, and that you may do. So one of the two things. If you're going to be a spy, you got to know the consequences. So there you go. He had the info, and nobody liked it. It was just a bad situation all around. Next one down. ABC News. Mention this one just briefly because I know Karen loves it so much. Which is, again, they're doing everything they can to keep her in a current relevant state, and by that we mean Princess Kate, Princess of Wales, portrait of strength and dignity. She was on the cover of Tatler. What magazine is that? Whatever. Tatler. It is a painted portrait based on old photographs. It's like, and then of course getting criticism. It's like, it doesn't really look like her. It's like, okay, we're not going for photorealistic. The point is, we're putting her on covers of things that, even though we have not seen a photo of her, a legitimate photo, I don't count the videos since Christmas. It is, we're coming up on June, and so this is their way of trying to keep her in there. Oh, she tweeted this. She wrote this. This is a painted picture of her. Got any photos of her? Got any photos of the kids? Nope. Moving on. Next one down. NPR. Okay, we're going to segue a little bit before we go to lucky, unlucky. NPR. And let me go back to last week. Karen remembers this. last week I was talking about there's certain things you do not want to be doing. In fact, I was going to include a horseback one, but there's definitely certain things you do not want to be doing while in case you catch suddenly. One of the biggest ones is swimming. If you are swimming, and I know they're putting in a public pool here, public pool, not as much as like swimming out in the ocean or windsurfing by yourself or water skiing or something like that. If you catch suddenly when you're swimming, you're done. That's it. You go unconscious and you're not going to be waking up for a while, and then water fills your lungs and you're done. So this is where it's interesting. For some reason, ready? Here's the headline. After years in decline, U.S. drowning deaths are rising again. Let me read a couple paragraphs here. Drowning deaths in the U.S. were on the decline for decades, but a new report for the Centers of Disease Control, because they're so credible, and prevention has found that fatalities have been increasing since when? 2020. So weird. Why would this be happening? The next paragraph. While it's not exactly clear what's causing the spike, public health experts believe the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic could be at least in part to blame. The CEO of the National Drowning Prevention Alliance said there were signs recently that fatal drownings were increasing, but the national figures were stark. Shocking to say the least, but we've seen these dramatic increases. But yeah, it is yeah. It's just, and of course, part of their blame it. During the pandemic, public pools were closed and lifeguards went home. What? Because people forgot how to swim? So when they came back, like, what are my arms and legs for? Blub, blub, blub. No. Yeah. Love it. Absolutely love it. Again, pinning, and you think that's not just it, though. So anyway, swimming kills, obviously. But the other thing kills, next one down, CNN.com, last one before we go to Lucky Unlucky. Fish oil supplements may raise the risk of stroke and heart issues, a study suggests, and there's some nice pictures of fish oil pills, as an excellent source of heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids, which people have been promoting forever. Daily fish oil supplements are a popular way to keep the risk of cardiovascular disease at bay. Or so we thought until recently, when we've been trying to pin everything on suddenly. About 20% of adults older than the age 50 frequently use these products. Yeah, I do. I use these products. However, a new study, finds regular use of these supplements may increase, not reduce, the risk of first-time stroke and atrial fibrillation among people in good heart health. Okay. Because, those aren't tied to anything we've been doing lately. Yeah. So let's see, is there anything else here? Fish oil only help people with existing heart disease. Yeah, bunch of crap. Anyway, as Karen likes to say, the air is lava. Everything is lava. So, yeah, there you go. Should we start on Lucky Unlucky before we go do this? We could probably do one. Yeah, let's do one because this one will take me kind of a while to explain. Let's go to Lucky Unlucky. First one down. We had quite a few high-profile people this week. The first one, though, and then we'll do this one just before the break, which is Morgan Spurlock. If you guys wonder, who the hell is he? Super Size Me director, dead at 53. Holy smokes, he's younger than me. Super Size Me director passed away from cancer, by that turbo cancer. And what you guys don't know, or if you haven't seen Super Size Me, he was the guy. There's some irony here, right? Because this is the guy that spent a year eating McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's actually a pretty interesting documentary. Do I think it was hyped up quite a bit? Yes, because it made him, he made it out like if he ate McDonald's, and he would always, if they offered to supersize, he would always say yes. That was one part of the things. And he made it seem like he was dying by the end, and it took him, half a year to drop the weight and all this other crap. And it was all that time. And then he was supposed to release a sequel, by the way, but then he got hit with some sexual allegations. And that was the end of his career. Went south pretty quickly. He wasn't necessarily part of the cancel culture, but it was pretty close. So yeah, there you go. Turbo cancer, and he is off the table. Not going to be directing anything else. So there you go. With that, let's go to our first break Karen with the music.
Got a new app, gonna blow your mind. It's the flat earth sun. On the zodiac clock, you'll find no more censorship, no more Google control. Cover the truth, let it rock and roll. Sun and moon dance across the sky. Zodiac signs, we gotta decipher why. No more hiding, no more lies to deceive us. Open up your eyes, it's time to believe us. Flat Earth revolution. It's time to wake up with the app that's gonna fill your cup. No more censorship, no more lies. It's time to see the truth when you're all eyes.
Hey, if you're looking for some new Flat Earth merch, I got some new designs in my merch store. Please check it out. I got the Guy Fawkes, Mark Sargent design, Coffee Talk with Karen B mugs, vintage Flat Earth, and Flat Earther hats. So please check it out, and much love, y'all.
She couldn't do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I'm a flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther. I'm a flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther. I'm a flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther. I'm a flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther.
Join me, Karen B, every moon day
Every
at
moon day.
9:30 a.m. for Coffee Talk on YouTube, Rumble, and Rockfin. You never know what you'll learn about in the coffee shop. Open topic and open phones, y'all. Join me.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, the always wonderful Karen B, and sometimes Peanut. And yeah, you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album.
Night and day.
Night and day. Yep. Let me see. Where do we leave off? We're doing Lucky Unlucky. People that made bad choices over the last couple of years. But hey, you know what? You roll the dice, you take your chances. Morgan Spurlock was the first, but he certainly will not be the last. Let's go to CNN.com. I'm going to talk about this one for a minute. Bill Walton, if you don't know who he is, he was an NBA center for the Portland Trail Blazers. Hall of Famer, probably one of the biggest, the best 50 basketball players of all time. definitely one of the best white players of all time. Colorful, they say colorful commentator, dies of cancer, and by that I mean turbo cancer at the age of 71. He was, remember I've said before, producers will say that it doesn't matter whether you love or hate a topic as long as you are engaged in the topic. Bill was the villain of all commentators. People hated him. I hated him, but he was good television. Meaning you wanted to throw stuff at the screen because he'd make, you'd go, I think that's a terrible reaction by blah, blah, blah player. He would always, he was trying to, almost like he was trying to incite a fight, which was good. Again, he commentated for years and people called it in the station all the time. It's like, why? Why it is because you didn't want to turn off the channel. You wanted to see what thing infuriated you more. And if your team was losing and he was calling your team out, oh, you hated him even more. So yeah, he was the probably the most hated commentator in, at least in basketball, could have been in professional sports as far as I know, which is pretty amazing considering athletes are usually pretty dry when they leave the court. Color commentators are usually different guys, usually broadcasters, not him. Anyway, so there you go. Turbo cancer. Done.
Here's a picture of him playing against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. Yeah, he put, in fact, you know what, Karen? There was a joke, Peanut will get this. There was a little barb of a joke that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was in Airplane, remember he was one of the co-pilots in the original Airplane movie.
That's right.
He was, when the kid was trying to, call him out, it's like, you're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's like, no, what was it, Roger? Whatever it was. And then finally, he grabs the kid, he goes, look, he goes, I don't want to hear it, right? He goes, you tried dragging Bill Walton up and down the court. That's the Bill Walton he was talking about in that movie. Because Bill Walton was a pain in the ass. He was a very good center, and he made you work for it, for the big man. You could not, if you were a big man going into playing against him, oh God, he would not phone it in. He was a very, very good player. So there you go. Next one down, foxnews.com. Okay, this is a twofer. I noticed this one right away. First off, this was published on the 25th. PGA Tour player Grayson Murray, 30 years old, dies after withdrawing from tournament. Withdrew on Friday due to illness just before his second round ended. Right? So he was playing, he was on the freaking field. Sorry, on the golf course. A little different, right? Golf course. Not exactly a high stress thing. And then before the second round ended, he excuses himself. He dies, right? That raised a lot of eyebrows. Remember, this is a whole different circle of people here, the whole country club, rich white people thing. So it was freaking some people out. So almost immediately afterwards, I knew this because it was the lead headline in Fox News. Next one down on Fox News. His parents contacts the media, say, oh, no, it was suicide. It's like, I'm sorry, this goes against usually what they're doing the exact opposite. Usually parents will drag their feet and wait quite a while before they even say that. So they said Grayson Murray's parents confirm he took his own life. Really? One day after withdrawing from the tournament? You're going to give us any circumstances around that? Or are you just going to say he took his own life? He just walks off the course, doesn't finish the round, goes home. Did you even say how? How he did it? No, nothing? Whatever. Not buying it. Not buying it. I think he caught suddenly. I think they were using it as a cover. I think somebody got to him, called him up, said, hey, you know what? Why don't you take one for the team? We'll, I know it sounds like a bit of a conspiracy, but sorry. It just doesn't add up. It's like, why? I've never even heard of somebody that's like, oh yeah, I'm playing one day and then I go home. I go from country club to house, die by my own hand. Why even go to the course at all? Now, of course, you go the other way and say, well, he owed a whole bunch of drug money and there were Colombian warlords coming after him or whatever. But maybe one day we'll know the story. Okay, next one down. People.com. People magazine. Remember when that was a thing? I do. General Hospital actor Johnny Wachter, dead at 37, a spectacular human being. Okay, this was a weird story. This is not suddenly or unexpectedly. This is just Wrong place, wrong time, my man. This, you know the story behind this, Karen?
Nope.
Okay, so he apparently was walking back to his parked car, and somebody was trying to take off the catalytic converter. Those sell for like what, $100, $150, depending on where you get it from or what kind of catalytic converter it is. He's like, "Hey, you guys." Well, if you're stealing the converter, you have an option. Yeah. What do you do with this guy? I mean, you're gonna let him call the cops? No. So they killed him. There you go. And that's it. You can read the follow-up stories on that if you want, but weird. So yeah, not necessarily lucky or unlucky. I mean, he's unlucky, definitely, but kind of reminds me of when the guy that played Chekhov on Star Trek got out of his car to do something at the gate, and he left the car in neutral or whatever, and the car rolled forward and pinned him on his own gate to his house, and he couldn't get out. Okay, next one down. TMZ.com, TMZ, the finest journalism in the world. And again, if you want to know, usually this isn't one of those instances. You want to know who dies first, go to TMZ. Okay, this I'm going to call BS on this one, because you're going to say, "Oh, medical emergency. Mike Tyson almost died because of some sort of blood clot or stroke issue." Nope. I think this is all hype. Because as you know, June 20th, it's coming up. June's right around the corner. June 20th, he's supposed to be fighting the big, amazing fake boxing match between he and Jake Paul. And this is a wonderful way. I'm just saying, again, I'm a conspiracy guy or truther community, which is you want to hype up the fight? You want to handicap yourself? Yeah. Ooh, Mike's not looking too good. You know what? I'm going to bet on Jake. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Call it a medical emergency. Oh my God. Mike Tyson's on death's door. So there you go. So supposedly he had an ulcer act up on the plane. Well, it was enough to where it was barely a pretty big deal. So yeah. But the follow-up to that, which was foxnews.com, and we probably don't have access to the whole article, which is fine. Jake Paul posts fiery reaction on social media after Mike Tyson suffers health scare during flight. Of course, this again. Don't think for a second. Everything about this is scripted. Do not think that this is an absolute legit fight. Remember, Jake Paul wrote the script for this fight. Right? He's paying Mike Tyson a ton of money to do this fight. So if Tyson wins, because now everyone bet against him because he thinks, oh, he had to be taken out of the plane in a wheelchair, that's a great way to make money. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book. Boxing is one of the first rigged sports in the history of sports. So there you go. I am not going to watch it. Oh, terrible. USA Today. Next one down. Karen sent me this one. Center Billy Price retires from the NFL because of terrifying blood clot. Not just any blood clot, terrifying. Let me read a little bit of this. Former first-round draft pick Billy Price announced his retirement from the NFL on Saturday morning due to the potential of complications from a blood clot. The center last played in the league with his Arizona Cardinals during the 2022 season. In the blink of an eye, everything can be taken away, he wrote on Instagram on April 24th. Hey, my birthday. I had emergency pulmonary embolism surgery to remove a saddle clot, never heard it called that was entering both of my lungs. As a healthy 29-year-old, weird, 29-year-old getting blood clots like that. An unprovoked pulmonary embolism with no further medical explanation is terrifying. I'm truly thankful to be alive today. Unfortunately, I will be retiring from the NFL as the risk of an internal bleed while on blood thinners creates tremendous risk. Okay, couple things. One, good for you, man. You listen to the doctors. There's a lot of people out there. It's like, hey, ride or die. Football's my life. He's like, you know what? I'm getting towards the end of my career anyway. 29 is getting a little bit up there for his position. And when the doctor came to him and said, kind of like Barty, the number one female tennis player in the world who walked off the court at the age of 23 and said, I'm done. I'm done. Tennis has given me all I need. Thank you. Good night, everybody. When the doctor comes to you and says, if you keep doing what you're doing, a blood clot could hit you either in the heart or the brain and you are done. as much passion as he had to get him to this point, he walked away. Good for him. Absolutely good for him. Bad decision to take the shot in the first place. Also enjoy the fact that people, the doctors, I've been hearing this right and left, that the doctors are prescribing blood thinners all the time now for anything. Because they're assuming, and they're rightly so, if 70% of the population took the shot, they don't even ask anymore, by the way. They don't even ask you that you've gotten the shot or not. They just assume you have, and so they're just gonna throw blood thinners at you, which have their own side effects. Okay. Last one before we go to Clown World. FoxNews.com. I do not know the band Train, but Train bassist Charlie Colin dead at 58 after slipping and falling in the shower. He was a founding member of the rock band Train. Let's see here. His sister confirmed the death after he was falling in the shower while house sitting for a friend in Brussels. The musician was teaching a master class at a conservatory in Brussels, was finishing making music for an upcoming film. Yeah, again, another cover, which is, remember what we talked about before, which is whatever you're doing when you catch suddenly, when people find you, that's what killed you. The one girl that was doing spray underarm deodorant, the deodorant killed her. Falling in the shower. Sure. Everyone slips in the shower a little bit. You fall in the shower. I mean, yeah, if you go through a glass side of a shower and you get cut to ribbons, sure. That's not what happened here. They found him dead in the shower. He must have slipped and banged his head in the shower. Well, you catch suddenly in the shower, you're going to bang your head, but you're already done on your way down. So whatever. Silly. Absolutely silly. Okay. Let's do Clown Worlds. We have 4 of them, and I like them all. The first one, we've talked about this a little bit before, but you know what? Finally, someone's gonna, again, officially it's called an exploit. If you find a weakness in the system and you use it to your advantage, it's called an exploit. And as to quote the Joker from the second Batman movie, the Heath Ledger version, people are only as good as the system allows them to be. And I know this because I come from the time and attendance, which is the time clock industry. People will get away with everything. If they can find a way to lie, cheat, and steal, they will do it. So why does this matter? The headline is, Frontier Airlines says it's facing widespread abuse of wheelchair service. Frontier CEO Barry Biffle, good name, says he's witnessed 20 people board a plane with a wheelchair and only 3 of them use the wheelchair to leave. Brilliant. Okay, why would they do this? Okay, if you guys don't know, if you haven't flown in a while, you can request a wheelchair to go from the ticket counter to your gate. And wheelchairs always get on first. They get on before first class. Wheelchair. So it doesn't matter where you are. And I've seen this myself. I've seen way more wheelchairs than normal, where you have like 6, 7, 8 wheelchairs in front of first class. They let them on before military. They let them in before families or anything like that. And then when you're on, right, you think, oh, wow, there's going to be a ton of wheelchairs when we get off on the other side. Oh, no. You don't have to ask for a wheelchair on the other side, because when you get off on the other side, wheelchairs get off last. So you just get off like you normally do. And no one says anything to you. There are no rules around it. There's nothing. You can't prove that you're not disabled in some way. And so it's just lazy people. I don't know what it took them so long, to be honest. It's just this weird, I'm not even going to call it a life hack. It's a life con is what it is. Just a pain in the ass. So yeah, there you go. Frontier may actually do something about it, but I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think there's a good way around it, to be honest. So if you see it at an airport, if you know what I'm talking, don't do it, by the way. Don't, just because I said it, don't try it, just have fun. It's like, really? We can get on the plane first? Like, no, it's just lazy. Don't do it. Next one down. Foxbusiness.com. Well, you knew that I had to include at least one Elon Musk thing. He said, Mark, didn't you already do that with the SpaceX explosion? Yeah, but Elon didn't really comment on it that much. So this one's a little different. This one actually deserves a clown world. Elon Musk expects AI will replace all human jobs and lead to universal high income. The tech mogul and ex-AI founder laid out his vision. Guy wouldn't know a vision if it sat on his face for how the future will look in a benign scenario as AI continues to develop rapidly. No, AI is in a freaking rut right now. AI is not doing jack. It's generating some interesting graphics, which have peaked out. It generates academic papers, which kids are now using. That's the only thing it's ruining, by the way, is the school system. In fact, I wouldn't ask a kid to write pretty much any paper at this point. That's really what it's doing. It's not taking any jobs from anybody. It's not. It's just not. It's not that good at doing this stuff. And it's like, oh no, it's going to take all jobs. Like, he's even using the term wrong. Why don't you just say robots are going to take all people's jobs, which is they're never going to do, because you're never going to solve the power problem ever. And by that, I mean Terminator. You're never going to solve the power problem. So whatever. Elon, you are just, everything he says is a headline. Doesn't matter what it is. My brother-in-law still thinks he's the smartest guy in the world. I want to slap him. Okay, RT.com, third one down. RT.com, otherwise known as Russia Today. This Peanut corrected me on this because it's drunk e-scooter riders face fines in Russia. A review committee has recommended that the state Duma approve legislation that envisages second time.
There's that word again.
It is. My God, it's haunting me. A stiff penalty for violators. Why? Okay. And of course, this is already a thing in America. I don't know why it isn't in Russia, but this goes to show you, all it takes is a few apples to screw things up. Intoxicated e-scooter operators could soon face fines in Russia. Right? Last year, 43 people were killed in accidents involving e-scooters and similar personal mobility devices in Russia. The number of incidents associated with such vehicles has risen exponentially over the last 5 years, and as rental companies have expanded their fleets. Yeah, so again, lazy people getting drunk, going on these little e-scooters, crashing into people, killing them, right? So, and up until now, I mean, you can get yourself completely jacked on vodka in Russia and start flying around and crash anybody. It's like, well, it just happens. It's like, what? So so here's what's going to happen now. The new rules, they're going to be breathalyzed, which we already do here, slapped with a fine up to, oh, wait for it, right? $338. Ooh. Hold me back. $338. For cyclists, the penalties remain the same, which is almost nothing. So if you're riding a bicycle and you get hit, I think it's not even $10 if you get hit, if you're drunk on a bicycle. Penalties for speeding under the new law would reach 5,000 rubles in extreme cases. Or I think they meant 50,000 rubles. Anyway, fun. Love the fact that Russia is finally catching up. We'll see how long. What do you mean Russia has true freedom? Well, hey, I do not see Russia as an enemy. I see them as a rival, nothing more. Good guys, Russians. Remember, they saved our bacon in World War II. I challenge anyone to dispute that.
There's a bunch of Americans that went to go live in Russia and start homesteading and stuff.
Yeah?
And we have Americans living in asylum in Russia.
I could see that. Again, Russia may be boring and plotting and dictator-like and stuff like that. Sure, they are that, but they are the very essence of, well, what used to be stability. You know, it's like we will get job done. You know, what's that line I heard in the movie? It's like Russians, we know vodka and misery. You know, they've lived through a lot. They have suffered more than many groups. And say what you want about World War II, but we couldn't even round to the nearest million how many people the Russians lost. For every one American soldier we lost, they lost 50. That's no joke. That's incredible. We know to the man by the way. We, 400 and something thousand, like 357. We know to the man how many people we lost. We can't even round to the nearest million over there, how many they lost. They were just they were cannon fodder, literally. Yeah, Peanut says, yeah, I'd rather be here still. Yeah, me too. We're still the greatest show on earth. We may be a fiery, burning dumpster fire that crashed into a motorcycle, but it's still America. Okay, last Clown World. Let's do TMZ.com. Okay, you know what? As you know, I believe in NPCs. I believe in idiots. I believe that people are doomed to repeat things. And in this case, you guys, it was not that long ago that we covered the little submarine that was full of rich people that got crushed looking for the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we go again. Again, you guys think, oh no, that's a fake. No, this is what things that billionaires do because they lose their freaking minds and perspective. Ohio billionaire taking a new sub to the Titanic site a year after the implosion. Let me read a little bit of this. The billionaire is diving to Titanic depths in a deep sea submersible to reassure those wary after last year's Ocean Gate incident. The watercraft industry is safer than ever. Seriously. And I didn't say seriously. TMZ said that, and that's a bad sign. His name's Larry Connor from Dayton. Going to go down 12,000 feet to the Titanic in the brand new $20 million two-person submersible. Along with, oh God, here we go, Triton Submarines co-founder, Patrick Leahy. In fact, it looks, oh God, it's just, yeah, they're the two. Oh yeah, thumbs up. There's a white guy with thumbs up down below. Remember him? Yeah. So yeah, if you wonder why, it's like, if you wonder why billionaires go in balloons or billionaires get in rockets, go Blue Horizon, or in this case, go underwater for no good reason at all. There's no reason for him to go down there and do this. But he's gonna. So there you go. All right. That is the end of Clown Worlds. So let's see what is on the call board. And Peanut's typing. What? What am I supposed to read? They will use flex tape this time? Well, no. Here's my thing, Peanut. I'm waiting for you to type. Here's my thing with these guys. The reason why the last one failed, it's kind of like aircraft parts. You can't go down, subject that thing to so much pressure, come up. That thing is going to have stress fractures after a while. Now this thing's brand new. The one he's going down is brand new, $20 million. I don't think it's gonna have any problems at all the first time. But then he's gonna have a, hey buddy, come on over. Use my deep sea thing. 5 times in, 10 times in, yeah, I'd start getting worried. Peanut, you got to type faster than that. What? He's typing. He says, Master Gunner says they check the barrel of the tanks after so many rounds. Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely right. And in aircraft parts, if you guys know anything about aircraft parts, they replace the parts based on time. They don't base it on miles or how many trips or anything like that. It's how many hours does that part have. Doesn't matter if it looks good or not. That part could look absolutely perfect. They don't care. That's why the airline industry has such a great track record for the most part, right? They just swap out the parts constantly, which you never ever do in cars because cars are on the ground. We just wait till the parts break in cars. Airplanes, the exact opposite. So yeah, this guy, he's just asking for trouble. We'll probably read about him in a year, and then be another. Oh, I'm sorry, the NPC thing. So billionaire idiots die a year ago, and then the system has now respawned another idiot. He's going to take their place. It's like, oh, look, another guy. All right, phone number to call in. I haven't even looked at the call board. Do we have time to pick up? Nope, we don't. Sorry. We will pick up when we come back for the break. Phone number to call in, though, is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Operators are standing by, and by that I mean me. But until that time, we're going to go to break. Karen, the music, please.
Hey, are you a foodie? Are you looking for the best salsas and hot sauce to serve at your next Mexican cultural appropriation party? A salsa that will knock your guests flat on their rear ends? Or maybe you're just looking for that authentic roasted chili flavor. Imperial Salsa is small batch and handcrafted with choice non-GMO ingredients. It is legit my favorite salsa ever. Support your local flat earther and go to imperialsalsa.com and order some of the best salsa on the plane. Shipping is included on all USA orders, and oh, look at this. The more you order, the more you save. They have some of the best seasonings that go great on your homemade guacamoles and quesadillas, or whatever you like. They are the bomb. Season your meat with it. Season everything with it. Go get it. Keep it flat. Eat my salsa!
Bohemian, I drink the juice, the chocolate milk, the holy cow. I wear the sneaks, tip of the beak, I'm a 33.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, the always lovely Karen B, and sometime Peanut. Well, we got the phone lines. We got 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Nothing odd about that number. Let's start off with 505. That would be possibly New Mexico, which, as you know, used to be Old Mexico. No, wait. Sorry, I'm hanging up on 505. You're absolutely right. We are going back to 214, which is Jen from Dallas. Sorry, 505. We'll pick you up next, I swear. Hey, Jen.
Oh, hi. I'm just listening tonight. We've had some major power outages, so
Oh,
using phone. So thank you.
okay. I will
Back
put you
on hold.
I will put you back on mute. No worries, Jen. Stay safe, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to 505, New Mexico again. Same as Narnia, not a real place. What's happening?
More Jan, more Jan, more Jan. Wow, isn't it amazing to hear from her first, but it was way too short.
Well, apparently there's some tornadoes that have been doing some stuff in different parts of the country. It could be weather manipulation, could just be, I don't know. But I've never seen one up close. I probably don't want to either. Peanut says it's a bad thing. So.
Yeah, kind of suspicious, you know. We just had a major solar eclipse go on that same path, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. So?
Well, anyway, we need to hear more, Jan. She's given us an update there. It sounds like she's on the ground. She sounds good, and I hope she stays that way too. Yeah, sounds like they got some bad stuff happening there. You know, let's see, Mad Max. Wow, that's a great movie. You know, and Mark, if I remember correctly, didn't we see that in America kind of later after the second movie? Because that wasn't really here yet. I think we saw the other one first, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Mad Max, because it did so. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Road Warrior. Like I saw Road Warrior in the theater, believe it or not. My dad took me to see it, which was so weird, you know, considering how young I was. And then Mad Max had limited release, but yeah, Road Warrior, that's what really launched everything. It was interesting. You read the bio on that whole thing. Mel Gibson wasn't even supposed to be. He was just a guy. You know, they were just interviewing people because the lead guy happens all the time, right? It's like, we want this actor. And that guy wasn't going to do it. And he didn't like the script. So many actors run into that. And so they just used him. And it's like, wow, launched this huge franchise. So awesome. But yeah, I didn't like Mad Max nearly as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked Road Warrior better myself, but
oh God, yes.
Mad Max was
yes. And then the third
great.
one, that whole the Thunderdome thing. I'm sorry, it just got too soft at the end, too soft 80s.
Yeah,
you know, we don't need another hero. You know, the kids singing in the background. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind Tina Turner,
but much. I hear you.
Yeah, it was a little touchy, which a lot of the 80s had that soft side to it. It wasn't, most of the stuff was not very gritty.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ah, wow. Maybe they'll do another one.
What?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, they are. They're there was a sequel.
So? Yeah.
There's a sequel to Fury Road. And I don't even want to get into the whole Fury Road thing, but there's a.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wait, I don't think I don't even think it's a sequel. I think it's a prequel to Fury. Ugh. Doesn't matter. Look it up. It should be his last movie because he's turning 80. George Miller is turning 80 this year. So I don't know how many more he's got in him.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's his own damn fault. He waited 30 years. 30 years between Thunderdome and Fury Road. It's like, what the hell, dude?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to do other things. Whatever.
Yeah. And, speaking of action too, Karen, you mentioned, all these people moving over, you guys were talking about to Russia. And, didn't Steven Seagal, move there a couple years ago? I thought that story was kind of odd. And they actually Putin actually gave him a pretty high up job in the government. So I don't know what that was about.
But doesn't he have, I should look him up. Doesn't he have lineage from over there? Isn't that one of his things? Peanut, what is Steven? where's he from originally? Where's his family from? Peanut will find it. But yeah, I mean
Yeah, he might. I think you're right. There might be.
Let's put it this way: if I had to, like Russia right now, not that bad. Russia in, let's say, the early 80s, up until the early 80s, not great, right? You're standing in long lines for crappy bread, and a can of, pickled sturgeon or whatever it is. It's not great. But then they learned.
Right.
They picked up on what was going on, and they made it work over there.
Absolutely. What a turnaround. And you were talking too about I think you had a sub story earlier, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a great sub story this last week right before Memorial Day. This is called the Lost 52 Project, and I guess there's these guys that are contracted by the U.S. Navy to go out and find like old subs and old ships that went down, these 52 ships in World War II.
Sure.
And they found the USS Harder. Yeah, this was a great story. I guess this thing is, they found it on the northern side of one of the Filipino islands, and it's at 3,700 feet. And they found, I saw the picture of it, but it was really hard to tell, but there was a hole, I guess, near their tower that comes up, like their recon tower. And I guess that confirmed that they had a direct hit from the enemy with a depth charge. And I was reading this story, and I'll tell you, this is a great movie if they haven't done one already, because these guys were like living legends. And they did 6 war patrols in 2 years. This thing was actually started working on it 6 days before Pearl Harbor, and they had a famous captain named Samuel Dealey. And they sunk 5 Japanese destroyers. A couple, I guess they did it like in a short amount of time too. They survived multiple depth charge attacks, also rescued a downed pilot. That was a great story because they surfaced and just jammed right up against a coral reef, and this guy was like swimming for his life on the other side of it. And they worked with another, I guess, some rubber boats and got this guy out of there. And then there was another thing where they did a down the throat attack where he just went straight at another sub, and then they had a dive right after, messing them up with all the shock waves of downing something else that close to them. But anyway, great story. If anybody gets a chance to look at it, they found it 79 years, after it was sunk. There were 79 sailors on there. A lot of great stories about people who, just never met their grandparents that were on there or their grandfathers. And one of his, I'll leave you with this too, one of his famous reports came out that kind of made him famous, this captain. He said, I expended 4 torpedoes in 1 Jap destroyer when he was reporting to headquarters or after he did it. So they nicknamed these guys Hit 'em Harder. That was their nickname during World War II. So yeah, I just thought that was encouraging, especially for Memorial Day. Kind of an interesting timing on it too. That's made me suspicious about it. But yeah, it was a good feel-good story for the Memorial Day anyway.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, man. Hey, you
Yep.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Did you have any shout outs, or did you already give them?
Oh yeah, let me do shout outs really quick. Jan and Dallas, of course, hang in there, Jan. It sounds like you guys are through the storm, and it's so good to hear from you. And Matt and Temple, and Jesse and Brittany, Amy and Syracuse, and Wendigo. Sure, why not?
Wendigo.
Shout out to Bigfoot. All right, guys, keep it flat. See you, Mark. See you, Karen.
See
you, Peanut. Later.
Bye. All right, so let's go down to, let's try 830. Why the heck not? 830, what's happening? 830. Gotta take it off mute, man. 5 seconds. Find the mute button. There you go. There you go. What's happening?
Hey, oh man, am I out here? Hey, not a whole lot. I just came from the meetup, the Flat Earth meetup with Dave Weiss down here in Austin, Texas. we just had that a little while ago, so that was pretty cool.
Cool. Cool.
And I met this guy Jesse there, and he had driven down from Oklahoma. He brought his P9000. He showed me a lot of super awesome photos, and he told me about this show. And when everyone was leaving, he dialed in, and I got the number. And when we left, I dialed in too, and I listened to this on the way home. And so I'm a first-time listener, and
nice.
I'm fortunate to have found you guys. So, hi.
Well, good. Thank you. Thank you for being a first-time listener. Always good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy about Morgan Spurlock. I heard that earlier in the week.
Well, awesome. Cool. Anything else you want to add?
Oh man, not a whole lot. I didn't really realize that we'd be making rounds to people that called in. I thought we would just be listening. I just got here. Down and
I didn't mean to put you on this. Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Even though I'm on the show, so
it's okay.
It caught me off guard. I didn't really have a whole lot to add though, but maybe next time.
I will not embarrass you. Again, there's only like 1 to 2 million people listening.
I did just finish a really cool book. I finished Carl Sagan's Science as a Candle in the Dark, The Demon Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark. I forget what show I heard it on. It might have been on Austin Witz's show, but that was very insightful. They talk about a lot of interesting things, a lot of crossover between science and magic, and a lot of the superstitions and witch hunts, and touches on a lot of different things, and doesn't really he kind of puts a lot of puzzle pieces out there and just lets the reader kind of put it together as they want. So there's a lot of truth in there in plain sight. So interesting stuff. And now I'm going back to working on Alvin Toffler. I've read his first 2 books. And if anyone doesn't know, you should read Future Shock. It's from 1970. And his next book, The Third Wave, where he describes a lot of what we're seeing today. And because he was a part of it. He never came right out and said it, but he gives himself away in the language that he uses. And all this we he talks about, like we are building a new race type stuff, and keeps coming back to that we. But yeah, Alvin Toffler's I'm going back to reading now his 3rd book, Power Shift. I have all of them, but I've only read the first 2. I'm kind of a book nerd.
Got it.
I just got I met Matt Long tonight, and he gave me a copy of his book, and so that's super awesome too.
Cool. Well, thanks, man.
I'll let you bring the next call on. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Glad to have you, and thank you for joining the show. Have a good one.
Awesome. Have a good night.
See ya. Bye. Let's go to 518. Jerome, possibly. I don't know. I can't confirm it. What's happening, Jerome?
Hey, what's up, Mark? How
Hey.
y'all doing, Karen? Peanut?
It's Tuesday. What's happening?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, But I want to. There was so much information going out tonight, and Karen didn't open her mouth.
Well, she's taking it all in, man.
Oh, okay, cool. Check this out.
She's here.
He was just referring to. Pardon me?
Go ahead.
Okay. When he was talking about the World War II thing,
yeah,
there's a documentary out called Battle 360. If you want to learn things about World War II in the Pacific,
yeah,
that's a good information piece.
Cool.
But first off, I want to shout out our Dallas superstar. You know who you are. And I was upset because I'm supposed to be in Austin in a month. And I'm so upset that I missed the meetup.
Well, because you were in the wrong
terrible weather down there.
You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Pardon me?
You just weren't You
No,
missed your.
I was in the. Yeah, I have an uncle in Austin, well, right outside of Austin. But I have a cousin in Dallas. So I was going to visit my uncle, and then he was going to take me to my cousin in Dallas. And I've been hearing they've been having horrific weather in Texas.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jan. You know you're my Dallas star. There's been a lot of space agencies doing a whole bunch of things and getting nil.
Yeah.
And people aren't getting it. It's like they want to know, but they don't want to know.
Yeah.
So they're not going to put themselves in a position to know.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that, Mark?
Well, what I have learned, I'll use the Irish girl, which I've used in the past, which is that as long as the space program theoretically exists, that is enough for most of the general public. Meaning, there was an Irish girl I was talking to who was a big super nerd, space nerd, and I say, look, even the Americans, and they live for the show. They live for the showtime. We're all Hollywood. We haven't even attempted anything major since 1972, right? We've been kicking that can down the road for the last 50 something years, 60 years. I asked her, I go, when do you think we're going back? Right? And this is an Irish girl. And she looks at me, and I'm not kidding you. Her eyes just glossed over. I mean, one of those looking at Obama hope poster gloss, starry eyes. And she goes, soon, we're going back soon. And it's like, oh, you are drinking the Kool-Aid. And by the way, if you guys don't know, look that up as Jim Jones reference. You're absolutely, you are.
No, she ain't drinking the Kool-Aid. They're punch drunk. That's what that is. That's not Kool-Aid. That's punch drunk. That's literally punch drunk.
Yeah. But
I don't get it. I mean,
she's not alone.
You know
there are so many people, which is why I think we've been hearing so much about SpaceX and Starliner and Blue Horizon and all the others. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing all these things. If I have to hear the edge of space one more time, I'm going to crack somebody in the face, because like that 90-year-old.
Yeah, but you got to crack that person who said it.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. They don't.
That person who said it, Mark, because and send it back to the people who told him or her.
Yeah. People are content with the knowledge that it's possible, even though logically, we're the critical thinkers. We're the ones like, no, what you're theorizing, the stuff you've got planned cannot be done. Not in the way you're trying to describe it. I mean, come on. They were giving out money, the whole, we're going to do a train on the moon, an actual railway system on the moon. For what? There's nobody there. You hadn't even attempted to put anybody there.
I thought that was the most hilarious thing I ever heard in life. You ain't been there in 50 years, over close to 60 years, and you want to build a train there?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, like Karen was mentioning a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, it probably was last week, the bridge to the moon.
Well, yeah.
I mean, for real, if we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, how the hell are you going to build a bridge?
There you go.
To some place, to another place that's spinning 2,200 miles an hour. It's spinning more than twice as fast as the Earth.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah, but the general public laps up the idea because you've heard the term suspension of disbelief, right? It's why we cry at movies. The actors are on the screen, right. That stuff, you're sitting in a freaking seat, you're not even watching a real image, and yet we still get emotional in movies. It's because we're invested in it. That's how we get into that point.
I do. Yes, I do. I agree with that.
My suspension, your suspension, Karen's suspension, Peanuts, all our suspensions our bar is way higher. The average person, they're like, you just throw them anything and like, oh yeah, That's feasible. Totally, we can do that. And it's like, no, I can't. Which is why, I'm sorry, I'm a horrible critic when it comes to movies. I believe in good writing. And the writing over the last 50, 60 years has been abysmal. And I know it's like, wow, we don't have to write any better for the general public because they're as dumb as a bag of hammers. And yeah, bugs me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're dumb as a bag of sewn up mouths. Yeah, that's true.
Bag of wet hair. Yeah.
So. Yeah, on a wet dog laying down.
Yeah, it's not good. But at the same time, I understand it, which is there's an old saying, conformity builds empires. And without a huge bunch of lemmings, you don't get anything done. Not the basic stuff. So you need them. I'm sorry, I just lost a lot of empathy over the years. For general public. I love everybody else. I love the truther community. The general public though, I don't like.
I pretty much stepped aside of that too and look at them. I mean, like, I have a few people that listen to me when I'm playing this on repeat. I mean, like, I'll play it tomorrow on the job.
Sure.
I'll play Flat Earth everywhere I go.
Excellent.
I don't give a damn who see it or who hear it. If you don't like it, oh well, shut your ears. But I'm going to play it. So.
Yep, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna let somebody else get on the line. Mark, thank you for talking to me.
All right.
Karen, it's nice to not hear from you, Sight.
All right.
I love you. Ted, don't get jealous. I'll see you soon. And I got to get a shout out to Jan. Jan, stay safe.
All right.
I hope I can get down there soon. That dude that wore them vagabond shoes, you know who that dude is.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I know too. And that guy from the 464, I've been listening to him too. But
you mean
I want to shout out Rick Hummer.
Okay.
What?
No, that's good. Rick Hummer's a good shout out. Sure.
I got to give a shout out to Rick Hummer. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see Rick in Vegas, so I got to give a shout out to him. DJ, you better bring that coat to South Carolina.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What the coat? The coat that he gave me? The coat that's in my closet? That coat?
Oh no! Stop playing. He gave it back.
Oh! The lab coat. Oh yeah, no. DJ's not giving that back. No, the lab coat is his forever.
I know.
Yeah, that's like a promise ring from me.
I'm gonna shout out to Nathan because I got the NASA jumpsuit that I'm gonna get fitted for me.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll be wearing that down there too.
Cool.
But I want to shout out to Karen B. You, Mark. Thank you very much.
All right.
The community loves you. The community loves Karen B. Peanut, if I don't see you in South Carolina, I'll be chasing your ass real soon.
It sounds like a restraining order to me. All right, man. Have a good one. Talk soon.
All right, you too, man. Have a nice one.
All right. He is not one for long or quick goodbyes. You know what? I normally would pick up 646, but I want to give him a chance to talk after the break. So 646, no, you are not going on. Dennis, we'll see. I'm gonna do 646 after the break. I'm gonna try to do 818. Peanut, because it's in caps, does that mean we picked him up before or not? If it's caps mean he's a new caller? Peanut has no idea. He's such a great producer. All right. Phone number is 848-222-2480. Next segment will be your last chance to call in. Karen, the final break music.
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer.
Engage Delta 9.
Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
Shh, they might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably?
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercepted. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. To me, the always wonderful Karen B. and Peanut. He's there somewhere. Phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Let's go to... Oh, let me see. I said I was going to do 646. Jerome thought it was 464. Don't know why. Let's do 646. Hey, Alex, what's going on? Manhattan.
Did you guys go to break early or something? I was just totally confused.
Huh? No, we're good. Why? It's 8:30.
No?
8:30. We're starting.
I don't know. I usually go to break at 11:30. Yeah. What's that?
Is it, dude? Bath salts and vodka is not a thing. It's just not.
Man, I was just deep diving on the MH370 with the guy Ashton Forbes. Have you seen any of this stuff?
No. What's new in that realm?
You haven't? Okay, so so they released what's quote unquote satellite footage of MH370 back, I guess that was 2016, 2015, somewhere around there. Well, nobody took it seriously, and now this guy's like doubling down and tripling down and saying that this is actual real satellite quote unquote footage of, you could see the orbs following the plane. Yeah.
Right. The orbs.
I've been watching it. Have you seen this?
Yes, yeah, I have seen the orbs.
Yeah. So it was one thing that struck. Yeah, and it's what struck me was it reminded me of those old stories of the Foo Fighters, and then of course the band named after the orbs from World War II. I mean, that old story.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
reporting orbs.
The Foo Fighters. That's where the name comes from.
Right. Yeah. And so that's what struck me was this video came up again. I was like, oh, this bullshit again, because AI is creating better footage than this right now. And this is this little white thing, looks like a plane, and there's orbs following it, and then it just goes through a wormhole, right?
Right.
And I can't help but think on a long script that they're playing back into the the Foo Fighters thing, right? It's and then it flashes and then it disappears into a wormhole.
Right.
And this guy's doubling down, he's tripling down, and he's Elon is letting this go out. There's not any community notes on it or anything. Right. I keep watching this video, and I'm like, this could be made by a 16-year-old in a basement somewhere.
Sure.
And then the guy goes on, in his comments, I'm going down through these, but then he goes on to say that he's got satellite graphics. First of all, that's a red flag, because he's got these heliocentric, satellite graphics of these satellites that view things a different way. Maybe he doesn't understand. He's not flat yet, so he doesn't understand. Maybe it's on a balloon or something, and maybe it is a satellite on a balloon that's looking at this thing and capturing it. But I wanted to get your take, or get your guys' take on it, because it feels like part of a long script from the Foo Fighters. And it's playing into that whole Foo Fighters thing, because you see these orbs running around the plane, But then I go down the comments, and it's back to heliocentric satellites in space.
Right.
What do you make of that?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good cover. I mean, at one point, yes, we have mentioned the Malaysian stuff. I mean, it hasn't been in our top 10 on the flat Earth topics whenever we're doing stuff, but it does come up from time to time. And this draws attention away from that. It's it's not like solving Loch Ness or Bigfoot or something like that. It's oh, no, we solved that Malaysian thing, even though most people don't even remember what the hell it was nowadays. But it doesn't hurt us, but I don't know if I buy. I didn't really like the original orb footage to begin with when it came out, because from our standpoint, it's no, the plane just got freaking lost out in the middle of nowhere because it didn't have GPS cord. GPS dropped off. Whatever happened. Who knows? Yeah, at that point, once it drops off of GPS, you could have done anything you wanted out there. It could have been something as simple as an espionage thing, where it's oh well, hey, there's a high value target on the plane. Is taking out the plane worth it? Sure, then take out the plane. So yeah, ninjas.
Yeah, that was my take on it too. And yeah, it was yeah, it could be at this point in time, it could be any sort of fakery, and it just gives false hope to all those people that were actually on that plane, or the families of the people that are on that plane. Right. So I'm looking at it, and I'm yeah, okay, you're playing the old Foo Fighters long script thing or whatever. And then I got to thinking about it too. I was I went through. There's this whole thing about the blob in the Pacific. You've heard of this? The weather thing that's going on in the Atlantic.
The giant kaiju.
And
yeah,
it's yeah, and it's problematic, and I'll tell you why. First of all, they're using the data against a Mercator projection. So all of that data is running up against continents that on the AE projection, it's not going to behave that same way, but they're crossing over the model. In other words, they're using the Mercator projection that island that's out there in the South Atlantic is affecting, and maybe it is, but maybe it's not doing it in the same way that they think, but they're overlaying it on a Mercator. And that's, I think, half the problem with a lot of these problems that we're having of looking at the reality of where we live, is that they still show the Mercator, which is a distortion of where we live. So, like, if you're saying that this blob in the South Pacific, which is creating all this stuff,
Yeah.
and it's hitting the coast of Africa, well, yeah, maybe it still is, but like if you splash that down on the AE, you're not getting a good viewpoint of like how that heating of the atmosphere is working. And there's all these people that are used to looking at the Mercator and thinking that it's wrapped in a ball, which it isn't.
Right.
You get a lot of distortion about like the effect of it. And I'll tell you this: we had a fog event 2 nights ago, and it was right there with the whole blob thing.
Yeah.
And like you can rarely when you go up to my roof, we can always see the city. We don't get fog very often. And there was a fog event, and it just was like, wow, that's pretty weird. So there's something coming out of the South Atlantic that's really bizarre. That hasn't happened before. And we're getting a lot of weird weather up here, but like I guess I would impart, like that whenever you see that stuff on the weather radar, there's a lot of stuff coming out from either Dutch Sense or there's another guy that's doing it too. A lot of the radar flashes or whatever that are causing weather in Texas. That's the whole, Jan's dealing with that stuff. There's a lot of tornadoes happening there. I grew up in the Midwest, so I remember how many tornadoes we got every year, and there's a lot more this year.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot more people are watching those NEXRAD, I guess it is, radar flashes. Have you seen this stuff?
Yep, I've seen it.
Yeah. So, why are you laughing? I'm I'm trying to deep dive tonight. And you're just making fun of me.
Alex, focus. Focus, Alex.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Gotta focus.
Anyway, that's all I had.
Okay.
Love you guys. Bye.
All right. See ya. You know what? I haven't picked him up in a couple weeks. Let's see what's happening with Dennis, who is not driving a truck, who is, oh, really? You're going to hang up Nicole? Because I was going to pick you up eventually. Whatever. Never liked you. Dennis, what's happening?
Did Alex hang up on you?
He always hangs up. He hangs up before I could mute him usually. But in this case, his roommate / girlfriend / whatever, she hung up as well. So anyway, I got you now. So what's happening with you?
Well, they get an A for consistency. Hey,
Yes.
The reason I called in is just I was listening, but you were talking about Russia a little bit earlier, and actually I wanted to, give you credit where it's due. I wanted to disagree, but there was one thing I also wanted to agree. You said how Russia's generally doing. It's a pretty cool place to be right now, and I would concur with that. You had said up until the early 1980s,
sure,
it was not such a good place, and it was you're talking about waiting long lines for a piece of bread, or
only going off the propaganda that the U.S. was pushing out there. And remember, in the 1980s, we were making Russia look as bleak as possible.
Well, yeah, in the 70s, on up before. Well, up until about 1985 or the late 1980s, before about 85, we were making it look as bleak as possible. In the late 1980s, when Gorbachev was in power, remember, the Americans were friends with Gorbachev, and like the James Bond movie, the one with Timothy Dalton,
sure.
They made the Russians look like friends for once, and it went with the politics of the time. But you caught your your alert. You cut me off at the pass. I was going to say that version of people waiting in long lines. I remember those movies that made Russia look ugly, and a horrible place. Well, the U.S. is still doing the same thing with their propaganda, but those movies making Russia look bleak back in the Brezhnev era and all, those were, to put it bluntly, those were lies. That wasn't the Russia of that time at all. That's only in American propaganda. The same sources that make lies about space were the same ones that are painting the Russians ugly. The only thing ugly in Russia at that time was Christian life, and Christians institutionally had a somewhat of a disadvantage in the Soviet era. But as far as economically, in general, people were doing pretty decent. And Americans think the opposite because, like you say, they're dumb. But I know Russians that say everything is good in Russia, but during the 80s and 90s, late 80s, when Gorbachev was in power and Yeltsin, everything went through the floor. It was horrible. But during Brezhnev and before, well, it was economically, as far as getting along, it was fine. And most Americans don't have a clue about that. But
Right.
it's just for Russians that were from there. So anyway, that's mainly what I wanted to say. It's what about, how do you say, economic reality? But
right.
You were right on it. But you knew where I was going with that.
I did.
I did. I think I could go into other stuff, but that's all I got. And I know you got other people, but that's all I can think of tonight.
Okay.
It's long-winded.
Well, it's okay. Thank you, Dennis, and thank you for the clarification. And we will talk to you soon. Stay safe, okay?
Will do. Thank you.
Bye. We're gonna try 818. Wait, we haven't picked up 818, right, Peanut? No? We're gonna try 818. And if we have time, we'll do that other 646 and 845. 818, what is happening? What's going on?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Chris. I go by FE Driver.
Oh, cool.
I went on tour with Nathan Thompson and Austin Whitsitt in the RV.
Oh, wow. Back in the day.
Yeah, I remember you.
Yeah. Way back in the day.
Yeah. So what?
Right on. Yeah, I remember when we were like yelling flat Earth, and I'm telling Austin, I'm like, dude, these people still think we landed on the moon. We're trying to tell them the Earth is flat. They're thinking we're crazy. We went to the moon.
Right.
So we started doing this thing where we would ask people, do you think we landed on the moon? They're like, oh yeah, it was the best thing ever. I'm like, oh my, just everybody we asked, everywhere was like, yeah, we went to the moon. Yeah, for sure. And we're like, oh man, this is crazy. Well, the Earth is flat, right? And we didn't go to the moon. It's like, that was pretty fun.
Nice.
Anyway, I listen to you guys a lot.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Well, cool. Any shout outs before I send you on your way?
Oh, you know what? I think of Karen all the time because I install EV chargers for electric vehicles at people's houses.
Yeah.
And I think of you all the time. And people are like asking me like, oh, how much is it going to cost? I'm like, I don't know. You bought the car. Why do you want me to tell you how much it's going to cost?
Yeah.
I'm putting the charger in for you.
Nice.
That's it. But
nice.
Fun out here
Cool,
in California.
Right on, man. Well, thank you again. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for calling in.
All right.
All right. Have a good one. Okay.
Done. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
It reminds me of there was an article I read which I didn't include. There was God, this girl couldn't have been not even 30. And she was doing an EV article, and she was so optimistic. It's like, oh, we only need like 6 times more chargers than we have right now. And she was saying like her numbers were so skewed. She goes, well, according to the thing, the blah, blah, blah data thing, she goes, we already have 62,000 charging stations in the country. I was going, my ass, we have 60,000 charging stations. And again, she was trying to spend, you could tell, she was absolutely pro EV, and she even threw in a couple of statements like, without EV cars, we're doomed to an eventual climate change disaster and all. And she was totally in. It's like, nope. The fleets the rental companies are already dumping the EVs as fast as they can. Manufacturing is dumping. Everybody's dumping them. But there was still a lot of people that bought them. Whatever. All right, we'll do 646. Oh, we got, you know what? Yeah, I know. I should probably grab that one. You're right, Peanut. Let's go. I'm sorry, 646. I got to pick up Argentina. Argentina. Are you really in Argentina?
Yeah, I'm in Argentina. I was just trying out. I'm okay.
You didn't
Great
think.
show. I love you. I love you, Mark, and I love you, Karen.
Okay. You didn't think I was going to pick you up, did you?
No, I didn't think so, and I was just. I'm gonna call you next Tuesday. So I love you guys.
Okay. All right. And he hung up. That happens, by the way, guys, every once in a while. Someone will call in, because remember, they're calling in just to listen, even though they could go somewhere else on the web and listen. But no, let's call the phone number, and who knows, maybe they get phone line for free. Okay, let's go to, I don't know, that call probably cost them $68. 646, back in Manhattan. What's happening? Let me guess, you have a comment about Kate.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Did you have a
Karen
comment
there?
about, did you have a comment about the Blair Witch Project?
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah,
Blair
I have
Witch.
several. I'm just walking away from
Why?
walking away from
Why-
the other TV
why would she-
because everything is really loud. You can hear me, right?
I can. There was some context here. I'm sorry, Karen.
Okay.
This is Nicole, and Nicole had written sent me an email during the show. Remember, because I said the Blair Witch Project ended up being one of the most profitable movies of all time, and she sends me an email. She goes, "Oh, you have no idea." She goes, "There's so many weird things that happened with the Blair Witch Project," and I was like, "Oh, that's part of the myth. That's one of the reasons it sold tickets, is because the rumor mill on that movie was just freaking rampant. It's like, it's a snuff film.
It's not just a rumor mill.
Oh.
Blair Witch Project actually was there's a whole intellectual property photography thing going on behind it, and right now Lionsgate is being sued by the original stars of that movie, and the girl who played the original one, she got paid $1,000.
Oof. Well, then who caught the cool 1.1 million at Sundance when they sold it? Not her, I'm
The
gathering.
guys that made up the myth of the Blair Witch, and so they had I don't know, upwards of $60,000 budget, and they filmed in Maryland for like a week.
Yeah.
So then they entered it into some film festival, and then that film festival paid for them to enter it into the Sundance Film Festival, and then the Sundance Film Festival, Lionsgate, they've recut it because Lionsgate picked it up because of distribution. I'm actually not sure who cut it.
Yeah, I was looking through the wiki a little bit on that one, and you are right. There seemed to be a couple leapfrog steps where they had the raw footage, and then it took them. In fact, yeah, they shot it in just very little time, and then it took 7 months to edit because they had like 22 hours of raw footage, and the editors, when they had time,
20 hours of raw footage or something. But you said something really interesting, because you and I have something in common, because the first time that I went to see that,
yeah,
I didn't know that it wasn't real.
Nobody did. Nobody did.
Know it wasn't real.
I stood
Yeah, exactly. Just like fucking NASA.
just
And
like
that's
NASA.
where I believed it.
Yeah. Once the rumor got out,
Shout out to Karen hi Karen.
Hi, Nicole.
I actually called to talk to Karen, but I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
And she hangs up, bitch. God damn it. So Peanuts says the actors received a paltry sum compared to the gross. Hence, in an email, the girl said, the teary-eyed girl got paid $1,000 for 2 weeks of work. In addition, the actors were eventually paid $300,000 when they were bought out of their 1% stake, which they probably shouldn't have taken, which effectively shut them out of future residuals. Yeah, because the movie ended up making what, $350 million before it was over. Yeah, there was money to be made there. Again, you never know what's going to resonate with the public, and found footage concept. What Blair Witch did was it allowed other producers. It's like, my God, let's do found footage, but with a Godzilla type movie in New York. Let's do found footage with this over here, and they turned it into a bunch of other things. So yeah, interesting. 1999, greatest year in films. It's never going to be replicated. Sad. So long ago. Okay. You know what? Let's pick up 845. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it with different strokes.
New York, New York. you fucking throw me curveballs every week. I love it.
Sorry.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Karen.
Hey.
Master Gunner. Hello, everybody out there. Wow. Interesting calls this evening. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
This world is so fucked up.
Yep.
So fucked up.
It is.
Crazy,
And yet,
crazy.
and yet,
What are you doing tonight?
and pretty good. And yet, no big things. I mean, again, Trump, he's finishing up his first of whatever cases he's going through. Hasn't called a VP yet. Biden isn't going to do it. Nothing. Apparently, we're going to wait until the conventions. Peanut, when's the first convention? Is it going to be blue team or red team? I forgot. Well, nothing's going to happen until the conventions. So I'm saying, all right, it's fine.
Yeah, I heard Biden isn't even on the ballot in Ohio or Oklahoma or something like that, and they're like scrambling because it has to be done 90 days before, and they don't know what to do. It's all fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
but with the rules, you can do a last minute replacement. So all you have to do is say, oh, he fell on his bicycle while he was sniffing somebody's hair, and he's in a hospital. And so we have to have somebody step in for him.
I'm sorry, you just made me think of Trump's Visiting Angels commercials that he uses Biden in. They showed Biden and Pelosi like walking across the tarmac, and then it cuts to Visiting Angels, like a nursing home.
Nice. Again, Peanut and I would have both lost money. I know they listen to this show. Whoever was in charge of keeping Biden upright for the last 3.5 years, gold stars all around. I don't know how you did it. I don't know if it was leg braces. I don't know if there was a mechanical device in there. Don't know if you were robot drone.
It was more than one Biden. That's how they did it.
Even if I'm going with the assumption that there wasn't. But if there was, hey, even better, because I didn't catch it. Republican convention is July 15th through the 18th. Oh, that's coming up. Democratic convention is August 19th through the 22nd. So if you want to look for anything cool, that's when I suggest you look for it. I don't think anything fun's going to happen until at least July 15th. But August, that's earlier than I thought it would be. So great. Get this freaking show on the road during the summer. Be kind of fun. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Zulu.
First off, in Russia, you have to be drunk to do everything. So why wouldn't they be on e-scooters drunk? It's the vodka world. That's what they do.
Well, you know how it is. If you knew, again, think about our drunk driving laws here, right? Until there were drunk driving laws, there weren't, and we just kind of waved it off. So. Right. I think it's really stupid. It is stupid for people to use e-scooters. Some of those scooters can really haul ass nowadays. Depending what battery thing you have on them.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. My bicycle goes 32 miles an hour. If I dumped out with no helmet, no nothing, in shorts and a t-shirt, I am not going to be happy.
No.
Fucking way.
No.
And that's not even one of the fast ones.
No.
Like you said, they go 70.
Oof.
Yeah, it will be wrecked.
That's really, really fast. Those are the ones with the batteries that can catch fire on their own. By the way, I've gotten so paranoid about that because I have a battery string trimmer and a battery power, a push mower for a small chunk of grass, and I make sure that once those things are charged, I get them out of the charger, and in the garage, I'm paranoid about those things blowing up and going after the gas cans, which are still some ways away, but it's like, man, it's only so many lithium things I can. But now I get it. Now,
when phones were bursting into flames in people's pockets,
yeah,
lithium batteries.
I always thought, before I knew anything, I thought the airlines were just being overcautious when they said, "Do you have any? Are there any lithium things in your suitcase?"
Right.
What the hell? Why are you? What are you talking about? Now I get it. It's like, oh my God. It's like,
whenever I mail anything, that's the number one question. Are there any batteries in this?
Yeah.
No, it's a keychain.
Yeah. Peanut says you can't ship them through the post office.
Oh, and I did get a hold of Jan.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good.
I did get a hold of Jan, and I'm going to mail her a keychain. She's very happy.
Wonderful.
I hope she's fine. I didn't even know that they had crazy weather down there. I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, Peanut's been telling you. Peanut's like, he's got 1 foot in the shelter at all times. Hey, dude, what do you got? What do you got? A quote? What do you got?
Yep, we got a couple minutes. I got you. I do have a quote, but I wanted to mention, I think one of the latest movies I just watched was Atlas with J-Lo, and it's all about AI killing us all.
Yes.
And it was disappointing because you don't see her ass till the very end of the movie. I was like, come on. What do we watch J-Lo for? I'm not a J-Lo fan. I'm sorry. I didn't even finish it because when she stars and produces it, Peanut and I were talking about this before the show. It's like, nah, it's not me. But I get it. But I got the whole AI concept. It's like, look, again, self-aware computers, do not fear them. You want a theme for the show? Don't be afraid of anything. AI is not going to all of a sudden wake up one day because you can't even explain how they do it in the movies. It just happens. It's like, oh, look, Skynet woke up. How? Don't know. Just is. Sure. Whatever. Just is. Just happened. That's smart. Yeah. Okay. And it just happened, and you can repeat that. You can make that just happen all the time, and so robots will eventually conquer us all. Whatever. Anyway, what do you got for a quote? I got a quote. Just one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. Dalai Lama. I've been trying to be more positive and more nicer. That's a good word, nicer. Punches and flights of stairs. Well, that's trying. Great. I'm trying. I'm not saying I'm doing it, but I'm trying. Yeah. You know what'll put a smile on my face? Weapons free, baby. That's what'll put a smile on my face. Yes, it's coming. I mean, didn't Nostradamus just say it's coming? June? There we go. We came maybe full circle. Blow over. It'll start on Juneteenth. Yeah, we came full circle. Nostradamus. No, that was the new Nostradamus, the Indian version. Nostro Schwami Damus. Whatever. Don't email me and say I'm being racist, because that wasn't racist. Oh my God. All right. You're not racist. You just hate I'm sorry, Eskimos, not Mexicans. What? You're not Mexican? What do you got for shout outs, Zula? Yeah. Shout out to Jerome, Jan, Karen B, Mark Sargent, Master Gunner, NBB, Ice Queen, BST tomorrow. Everyone in the chat, the captain's mom. She's 94. The Pirate Queen is 94. God bless her. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. I guess that was about it for shout outs. Well, thank you. I didn't make too many notes. I was actually enjoying all the calls and paying attention to that instead. That's good. That's good. All right. Next week, same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu. Good night, Zulu. Yeah, close enough. Peanut, this guy going, yep. Peanut just flips me off. That's just rude. That is rude. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Roll music, roll credits, hot sex. Good night, everybody. Hey, it's Alex Lowry again. Man, can't get rid of that guy. I heard you don't like him or Nicole. No, it's a twofer. Nah, not really. I love it.
Everything 40 it. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. There's love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to believe.
Paige needs to get into her PJs with her cup of cocoa and her 6 marshmallows. Night, Mark.
Mike Jack. Jack.
You realize it's the same link every week. It never changes.
Yeah, I know. I should paste it somewhere, I think.
Hello, Daisy. Hello, Maggie.